promotes the use of public transport. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Not a good day for people wanting to travel at peak times. Those are the real people who suffer, aren't they?
Well, absolutely. It's actually been a bad decade for people using public transport. They've been going up every year for the last 10 years. This is driving people away from public transport at a time where we need to be investing in making sure people can get about the country in that way. So, yes, a bad day, but nothing new, really.
Well, although, you say it's driving people away, that's part of the issue here, isn't it? The number of people using the trains across the UK is actually increasing steadily. So how do you explain that? It's getting more and more expensive, but still more of us apparently are travelling by train.
The major reason for that, I'd say, is actually the price of owning and driving a car is increasing dramatically too. So people are unable to own cars or to drive cars. We know 2/3 of job seekers are unable to access a car. We know a quarter of households in England alone are unable to access cars. So we need to be providing alternatives because the price of oil is only going in one direction in the long term. That means investing in public transport and making sure people can afford it, and also investing in safer walking and cycling routes so people can get about on shorter distances via those means.
If you look at the fares over the course of a day, we actually have enormous disparities in this country, don't we? The peak commuter times far more expensive than a lot of comparable European routes. However, if you can book in advance, if you can travel in the middle of the day, we have some of the cheapest rail fares in Europe. Now, in your opinion, is that fair? Would it be better to have a much more even balance over the day, or actually is it quite nice for people who can perhaps travel at different times to benefit from some real bargains sometimes?
I think at a time where we're expecting to have an economic recovery, we're pushing for that, we need to enable people to be able to get to work, to get to jobs, to find work. So it's important that those affordable prices are throughout the day so people can make those journeys to get to their offices or other workplaces without having to rely on a car that they can't afford.
But someone listening to you might say, well, we can't have it every which way. I mean, yes, of course, people have to be able to get to work. That's why the numbers are so high first thing in the morning. But the various consecutive governments, in fact, have decided, almost as a matter of policy, that it is the passenger who should be paying for this, not the general taxpayer. Now, actually, perhaps as a nation, we should be having a wider policy debate, whether that is the way forward.
I think a wider policy debate would absolutely be welcome. Of course, it's all of us that pay the price for people not being able to get around. If that dampens our economic recovery, it's therefore sensible for the taxpayer, for the government to make a contribution towards getting those prices down. And it should last throughout the day. Essentially, people at the moment can't get to jobs, they can't get to healthcare, they can't make essential journeys to schools and families. So throughout the day, people need to be able to afford public transport, and we should be relying more on journeys by foot and bicycle over shorter distances.
Joe Williams from Sustrains, thank you very much.
Thank you.